right, you tell me guys when you guys are starting ready, and everyone has their characters.
Yep. I'm ready.
Yep. So I'm running too. I'm running myself and then Icarus for anyone who's
Someone.
joined.
Awesome. Awesome.
So we still have Stefanos up for grabs.
All right. So someone does need to run Stefanos unless you guys don't want her in the party right now.
I can try, but I don't know how to use spells.
Yeah. So who else has spells? Maybe either Curtis. Yeah, Curtis. Can you run? Or I'm sorry, Dinjarin. And by the way, Dinjarin, sorry, I accidentally deleted your character portrait. We'll have to get your real one. I just put you a placeholder. Do you mind running Stefanos?
I actually don't have spells either.
Who has spells? Does anyone?
Glory. But if Sarah doesn't want
I
to
can
run it,
try.
Can you consult?
Yeah, I can.
I
I
can
can do my
try.
best to help you guys out.
Okay. Let me get her again.
Okay. Well, actually, no, Glory.
Stephanos.
Yeah, no, I don't think Glory should do it. She's in a van. Like, it's not.
Okay.
I think her. Like, we're going to be pushing her connection as it is. So, if one of you other people, it doesn't matter if you have spells. I can help you with it. Just someone open her up.
All right. Error. I think Sarah already has her open.
No, I closed out.
Oh, let me release her then.
Okay.
Clear owner. All right, so she's now available.
I guess I gotta close this and go back in. Characters. All right, I gotta run him.
Julio. Awesome. All right, guys. So let me start reminding everybody what was up. And the cool thing is I'm not on actual video, so no one's going to see me. So what happened last time was that you guys made your way, after inadvertently triggering a trap and collapsing a bunch of boulders on top of your party. You've made your way deeper into the cave. You discovered what was turned out to be a guard room that contained a various number of wolves and goblins of different stations in life. Not without some serious struggle did you defeat this room. If you guys remember correctly, you guys were bleeding out to the point where you gathered as much debris as you could and you blocked all of the entrances and doors to just buy yourself some time. And you spent the night in this cave sort of, licking your wounds and recovering. So on the plus side, you all, felt the tingles throughout the night, and you awoke refreshed with your spells, with your wounds healed. You got yourself a long rest. You got very lucky because I rolled some goodness, and you skirted the odds, and nothing broke through, nothing made its way in, and nothing happened. So, probably wasn't a perfectly restful night's sleep because you are in a goblin cave and you can hear off in the distance, any number of goblins. For instance, these guys. Let's turn him off. He's annoying. Cool. That brings you to today. So, you've roused from your break. There was an assumption that Tyros stood watch because the guy needs almost no sleep. You're in the room. You're not in combat. What do you guys want to do?
Can't see the map.
Oh, your DM is really sucky. So let's share the map. Fun. And Mainlana, I think you dropped onto the call, which is cool. You're welcome to listen along here, or you can always go to Twitch and follow Droby and watch us live if you want to see the maps, because right now you're not going to see anything. You're just going to hear us talking about stuff, just so you know. So shout out to Melan. She's our new intern. Cool. Can you all see the map?
Yep.
In its glory? Cool. All right. Go ahead and tell me your next move. So, I assume that you guys have gotten your spells ready, and that you are good to go. So who is running Stephanos? Was it Sil? Right, you're running it. So make sure you guys reset all of your ammo. Make sure that everything is good to go. Let me put. Let me
I
put.
think Adam's running it.
Oh, Adam, you're running it.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm
On
gonna
a
put it
spell
into.
slot.
Yeah, I'm looking to make sure that she's got. That she's good to go. So preparation. So she has cure wounds, healing word. That should be good. I think that's what you'll need for the day. And boom, you're in now combat mode. So you got 3 slots available because she did level up. Awesome. All right, so come on, guys. Let's tell me which door there. You know, you look around the room. You do a little bit more exploring. You're seeing some sleeping quarters, some cages. Normally you would see the corpses, but they've in the night something happened to all the corpses. They're all gone. And you know, you see that there's 2 doors. There's one towards sort of the southeast part of the room, and there's one towards the southwest part of the room. So you hear 2 doors. You hear goblins sort of in the distance on each side, and some rumbling around.
Can we perception check? Do we have to choose a door to which we would run that, or?
Yeah, tell me which door you want to listen on, and
I'll do
who's doing it.
the northeast. Tempe can run it. He's got high perception.
All right. Go ahead and roll your perception.
It's under skills or main.
It is under abilities, right? Or no, wait, perception is skills. Sorry. And I'll throw some narrative while you're doing it. So well, I'll wait until you do your roll, just so I can give you some narrative. All right, you gonna roll it?
I tried. Do I drop it? Oh, wait. Grab the wrong thing.
It's funny when we went from week to week, we forget everything that way. It's crazy.
Oh.
Oh man.
Nothing.
Yeah. So you know, Tempe puts his ear up against the door, and immediately withdraws his head. You hear a big thunk, and you look at him, and he's got like splinters and all sorts of crap just like sort of wedged into his cheek. He did not hear a thing, but it's pretty clear that the things on the other side of the door probably heard him.
Yeah.
Someone else want to take a shot
All
at it?
right. Let's check out door number 2.
All right. Who said that? I can no longer tell.
Actually, do you want me to run a perception there?
Yeah, let's
yes,
do it.
I think so.
Yeah.
Are you doing the same door or are you doing the other door?
Collectively, what door do you guys want me to check? The same door? We've already alerted people behind there.
Let's do the other door. Just see if that
Yeah.
if people haven't heard that us from that way, that might be a better way to go.
Sure.
And a gentle reminder: you alerted them when you collapsed the rocks and set off an alarm. So good enough.
Fair
So
enough.
all right. So you do a couple of things. You look around the room and you see that this room is better furnished than the previous room, which, let's be honest, wasn't really saying much, right? In fact, you guys did some decorating of your own and filled it with rubble. So these are caves with some seriously crappy furniture, right? The accommodations on your voyage to this island were much better. For a moment, you guys dream of the evening stew at Madame Fiona's, sitting by the fire with a pint of ale. But soon enough, you hope that you'll be back, trying to survive the next few hours. You almost have forgotten why you're here. You're looking for the family that was the family and farm workers that were drugged through the woods into these caves, from what you can tell. And you hope to meet Milevant with the rest of her family. So, shaking off those memories, you notice some serviceable tables and chairs, some potable food and drink. Even larger. Oh my God! I'm giving you the narrative for the wrong room. So I'm stopping here. So anyway, so what you hear when you rolled your perception check, so you did see the room. Like I said, there's all the sleeping quarters and all that good stuff. in case anyone hasn't read ahead, I will just go ahead and clear that chat window. You'll look around. New GM sucks at it. But what you hear is, you hear a number of people. You couldn't get a good count, but there's at least a handful of something that sounds like goblins on the other side. Also sounds like there might be something a little bigger than a goblin, right? You hear some sort of some breathing and some stomping about and some mumbling. But that's about all that you really pick up. And that was on the southeast door.
Yeah, that sounds like prisoners' quarters to me. We should probably check in there.
All right, so you guys want to rush through the room, tread carefully. You want to check the other door.
I don't know the big thing sounds like that's something that could easily potentially squash us. I say we check the other door. See what we can find out behind the other door.
All right, so Dinjarin sort of shakes the sleep from his head and wipes the night's eye boogers from his eyes and makes his way over to the door. Places his head gingerly against the door and rolls his perception. And while he doesn't thump his head, he doesn't pick up a lot. But what he can tell is from what Tyros described, he heard, it sounds very similar. So Dinjarin wagers that maybe these two doors potentially lead into the same room, or if not, there's some common noises between the two.
Mm-hmm. Should we divide and conquer? Half of us go on one side and half go on the other?
That's what I was thinking.
All right.
Glory agrees.
Glory says yes.
All right, so I'm going to give you guys a free
How do we
move.
want to split up?
Yeah, drag your characters to where you want to go.
Let's see, what do we got? I say, is someone playing Icarus too?
Yeah, that is me.
So I say Icarus goes on one side, I go on the other side, because we're probably closer to just like pure force.
Brute force, yep.
And then get two archers or rangers, one on each side. Who else do we have?
And then Glory and Stefanos in the rear.
Yeah, they should follow up the rear.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so
All right,
I'll
take the bottom.
You're going to take the bottom? Okay.
All right. So yeah, I'll go ahead and stack up and make sure, order matters because you're going to start blocking the doorway. So you may want to make yourself all the way in.
Yeah, put Icarus in the front of the back. I'll go in the front over here.
Hold on. Icarus, you can't move through a wall. That's why it's blocking you.
Ah.
So I can drag you around and give you that.
Okay, perfect. Where is...
Hey, Sil, you should let Icarus go in front of you.
All right. So that was Dinjarin. Where were you moving to? Were you going first? I just wanted to get you guys at least.
Yeah, I was
serviceable.
Yeah, I was trying to get in front of the door since I have the heavy armor.
So question. So are you wearing the heavy armor? Have you equipped it?
Yeah, I have my chainmail. I mean,
you have it with you, but you have it on.
Armor. Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I have the heaviest armor out of all of us.
Yeah. All right. So I'm approving all your moves. A whole lot of moving going on. All right. So, how do you guys want to do this? You want one party to go in at a time? Are you doing it for a surprise? Are you trying to be stealthy at all? You want to open up the doors and peek? You got a number of options. And again, I always like to qualify for anyone who's been unfortunate enough to stumble upon this little adventure. We're learning this as we go, so that's why I give a lot more guidance than normal.
I want to try to check the hinges of the door I'm at, just to
Okay.
see if they look like they'll squeak or not.
Okay, fair enough. And that's you don't need to roll anything for that. You can see that this is a fairly old door, and it might make a little of normal door noise, but it's used frequently enough that it's sort of self-lubricated. It's not going to creak too much.
All right.
I say
If you
we
guys-
have someone
if anyone
just
has-
peek.
So if anyone has oil, you're welcome to throw some oil on it if you just want to. Little WD.
I say we have someone just peek through the door and see what they can get really quick, and then close the door really quick on
All right,
one
so
side.
So
I'm
your
willing to
two
do that.
peekers are Icarus and Dinjarin. Are you wanting to
I'll
do
op-
this?
I'll open it up and peek.
All right, so you go first. So let's see. So you open up the door, and what you see, So this takes me a second to enable some stuff. So what you see is that guy, and
All right.
that guy.
Should I describe to them?
Yeah. Well, you do you, man, if you want to.
All right. So I could see two archers. One looks like one is kind of in between us. There's some sort of table there, and there's an archer next to that table. There's also an archer far in the back in between the two doors. And then there's a bigger goblin far in the back but closer to my side. And then on my side I can see what looks like cages, maybe more wolf cages, or potentially prison, like cells. And then it's hard to tell, but it kind of looks like there may be passages all the way in the back that go further. So there may be more goblins in the back, further in the back, that I can't see. And it also looks like closer to your guys' door, Icarus and that Glory and that team. I can't tell if those are weapons or pickaxes, but against the far wall, there's some sort of like rack of pickaxes or weapons or something. That's all I can see so far.
Yeah, and you see a little
have...
bit. Go ahead. Go ahead. My bad.
No, go ahead. What else do you see?
I was gonna say, yeah. So you also see. This may sound familiar. Just so you know. All right. So this room is better furnished than the previous rooms. Let's be honest. That isn't saying much. There's some caves, but these are caves with some serious crappy furniture. I wrote this narrative so well that you had to hear it twice. Your ship accommodations suddenly seem luxurious. You dream of the stew at Madame Friona's, a seat by the fire, a pint of ale, and you hope to get back there soon enough. You do peek some cages, so you think you might be onto the right trail. Shaking that off, right? You do notice some serviceable tables and chairs, Curtis, off to sort of just to the left, it looks like. And you hear something sort of breathing off in the on the edge. And while this room isn't necessarily built for comfort, I'm sorry, you sort of see sort of reflected, or just off to the, well, you have to pull in a little bit. I'm going to pull you in. There you go. Just off to the left, what you see, just inside the door, since you were actually doing a peek, is something that looks like a granite slab. Right, just inside the door. It's not built for comfort, like it's some sort of a seat, but it certainly could provide a sturdy place for something to sit. That something would probably be quite large and will likely be something that's in charge. So large and in charge, as they say. And then off in the distance, you see that there's two more passages that lead out of the room, deeper into the cave system. You do hear distant echoes of goblins that rides the air, their calls, and you think the air in this room is a bit stale and would benefit from maybe a scented candle or some essential oils. Some goblins stand around the room that you see. There's probably more. They're all looking a little confused as to what's going on, right? Like they've heard some bells going off. They've heard some crashes. And they're all sort of like waiting for directions from and looking off towards that throne, where they do see a large bugbear. You see off poking just barely out. You should see it just poking out in your view. A bugbear. You don't know this, but his name is Garank. And they're just sort of looking for directions, right, from that bugbear. He's clearly in charge. You see 6 cages along the wall that hold 11 prisoners that seem to be taken from the peat bog. Good news, like they're alive, right? That's great, right? They are also locked in cages, so that's not great news. But you're gonna have to deal with one thing at a time at this point. So there also seems to be a bonus prisoner, right? This human dressed in black underclothing, the kind you would sort of wear under armor. He's caged alongside them. It's obvious that he's not really one of the farm workers or one of the family members. He surely has his own tale to tell, and not dying is likely the way he hopes to end at least this chapter of his life. So that is what you see.
In this level up, I have a spell that I can, it's called a unseen servant, so I can send like similar to how Curtis had, Dejarin had done the dancing lights. So this spell creates an invisible, mindless, shapeless medium force that performs simple tasks at your command. So we could use that as like a decoy so that we can run in and maybe hide. Or we can say, hey, maybe this invisible, mindless, shapeless medium force becomes the one that tells the directions. Like maybe we can say like, oh, this is the leader of them, and it's saying that they need to let all the prisoners go. Can we do that?
You can try that. Go ahead.
If the force is invisible, could we try to send it to see if they might be able to find the key to the, like, sneak in? Can it sneak in, find the key to the cages, and release the one guy who looks clearly as some sort of warrior or fighter who they have locked up? Because he may be able to help us during battle. Like, there's no way we're going to get out of this without fighting, I'm guessing. But if we could get an advantage by having an extra fighter, that might help us.
But if we send them in, then they're all going to attack this medium force, and it'll kind of alert them.
They see it. It's not an invisible.
Oh, it is invisible. It creates an invisible, mindless, shapeless medium force. Okay, yeah, it is invisible. Okay, yeah, we can do that because the servant can perform simple tasks that a human servant could do.
Yeah, maybe
such as cleaning, mending. Yeah. Okay.
And maybe we do that. Send that in. Try to find the key and unlock the cage of the guy in the black outfit.
Man in black.
Okay, cool.
We're going to need to open my door first before Glory can send this apparition in.
You'll clearly be seen though. Like there's an archer.
So I'm gonna disappoint you guys. You're all they know you. So look, you set off an alarm.
Yeah.
Like we can fast track this. Like you've lost the element of surprise. You've lost the ability to think that you're going to trick them into doing anything else. Like they heard a big crash of boulders, right? They heard their colleagues, die on the other side. Clearly, they've moved some people into this room. The doors are somewhat small, so you were able to block them. But for the most part, like these guys know you're there, right? And for Curtis, I mean, if you can see them, they can see you, right? So there's not
I thought I like just barely opened the door. Like I thought I was just peeking in.
Yeah, that's not really how the door works, right? So like you can open and peek. That's why I had you move forward a foot so you could peek in. But I mean, you have to remember, guys, like you made a bunch of ruckus, and they knew that something's coming to come through those doors, so they're looking. Like there's no sort of like world where even if you peek in, they're going to see that door, right? So there is no element of surprise. There's no stealth at this point. So really, the question is, rush to the room, shut the doors, pray to your gods. Like, what do you want to do? I mean, Icarus the door is still closed on that side. So you do have a world where they may think that you're all going to come in this other door, right? I mean, everyone is sort of looking to the left. No one's really looking to the right at this point.
Yeah, we could keep this door as more of a element of surprise. Sort of draw everyone over to the left side or to the west side.
So there's a bunch of rocks. I could draw their attention. So there's a bunch of rocks within my range. I could run down to those rocks at least gives me cover from the archers, I think. I hope it'll give me cover from the archers.
Mm-hmm.
That way they're all looking at me, and then maybe you guys could open up that door and start firing in at the archers.
Yeah, and I'll send in the my unseen servant to find the key and open all the cages, so it'll be easy for them to run away as we're fighting them.
All right.
So it's probably worth noting that you
plan-
don't. These are locked cages. They're not. They don't just have like a a doorknob on them. So they're like you don't have the key. So I could just save you some time there. Like you don't have the key to unlock these cages.
Need key.
Unseen servant should go find it.
Yeah, that's why she's saying she was going to send the unseen servant to try to steal the key from, see if she could find the person to steal it from.
Cool. Well, I like that plan. All right. So
All right.
then what you're going to need. I am
so
going
I'll move
to.
forward.
Well, hold on. I need you guys to all roll initiative real quick.
Initiative?
Yeah.
Are you going to send it to us?
Oh, you guys are so lazy. No one ever wants to do it the old-fashioned way.
Hey, how's it going?
Hold on here.
Did I do it right?
No worries.
Yes, I did it right.
Which one's initiative?
PCs. Hold on. Like, if everyone's starting,
INIT.
don't anyone roll because I have to. Time to roll. So now it
I'm
should.
just admiring. I've got a Sprinter too. I've got a Winnebago Sprinter, 3 years old.
Who's that talking? Initiative. There we go. Request roll. There it is. Now you guys should all have the request. Do you guys get it? Yes,
Sorry
you
about
did.
that.
That's okay. No, it's all good.
Well, but then you got things like this. So here, check this out. See this guy right here?
So that's you got a splinter? What's going on? All right, so you guys have rolled your initiative. Let me roll the foe initiative now. Yeah. Let's see your menu. Nope, wrong. Initiative. Roll. NPC initiatives. And Sermat, who's on Twitch. I'm not actually following along too much on the chat, just so you know. Today we're working off of a laptop. It's a little bizarre. All right, so we got our initiatives rolled, which is awesome. Fun fact: Goblin Archer is first. But I'm going to give you guys the move into the room. And here. Awesome. Cool. So Gloria, if you want to move your do your thing, we need to move Icarus out of the way, and you need to get that door open.
State.
Okay, so we need to open the door. So
November-ish.
can someone open the door?
I thought I was going to move in first, though, I guess I can't move in first because my turn isn't until way later.
No, you can move into the room. I just rolled initiative. You guys aren't in official combat yet. No one's attacking. I just needed to get it all set up so that once you guys are sort of there, we can do your thing. The
thought was I move into the room so that they all draw attention to me, and then Glory, you do what you need to do.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So you need to go first, and then I will go towards the door, open it, and then I'll send in my unseen character.
Yeah. Okay. I'm heading in now. Let's hope that.
All right.
Where I'm going.
Glory, you need to. Well, hold on. Before
Good
you
luck.
head in.
Godspeed.
Before you head in, Glory, you need to look to see if you need to. I don't think you can send someone through a room, right? Like that's not. I think you have to have some sort of line of sight into the room.
So Lilith Lane is like the closest sub.
Right, because I think in some way, shape, or form, you're controlling this thing, right?
Just the people. And
yeah, I think so.
So on that note, your door. So let's open up. You want your door open, so you can now see. And Dinjarin, make your move.
All right.
Oops. So you're moving onto the rocks, or to the right of to the left of the rocks?
Just. Well, I guess.
Sorry, I had to go to the other side.
Yeah, right there, to the left of it. There we go.
Yeah, I'll move you over there. Okay. All right. So you now have line of sight. You see a giant bugbear, right? That's clearly in charge. You also see an archer Gunty. You're under partial cover, so you're okay-ish.
That's what I was.
But that's sort of the state of now. All right, and I'm gonna give you your free move, Glory. Go ahead and do your thing.
That's what I was worried about. Someone where I couldn't see him.
Give me 2 seconds. It's taking a long time to load my skills.
Yeah, it's if you're anything like me, you're on a laptop. I'm in a hotel. I can't believe we're doing this at all.
Okay, here we go.
But I missed
Sorry,
it. So
actions. All right, unseen servant. I'm gonna. How do I? Oh, I clicked it like 3 times. Sorry.
I was saying, like, you
Just one.
did it burn up your
Just
spell
one.
slots? You need to undo that. All right,
I'm
so
sorry,
you
I
have
don't know how to undo.
You're always making my life like hard because I've never done that before. I have no idea how Unseen Servant works in Fantasy Grounds. Is it supposed to be some sort of a character that's moving around?
So if you command the servant to perform a task that would move in more than 60 feet away from you, the spell ends. So I pretty much so I'll read it all to you. So
Okay.
the spell creates an invisible, mindless, shapeless medium force that performs simple tasks at your command until the spell ends. The servant springs into existence in an unoccupied space on the ground within range. It has AC 10, 1 hit point, and a strength of 2, and it can't attack. If it drops to 0 hit points, the spell ends. So, and then once on each of your turns as a bonus action, you can mentally command the servant to move up to 15 feet and interact with an object. The servant can perform simple tasks that a human servant could do, such as fetching things, cleaning, mending, folding clothes, lighting fires, serving food, and pouring wine. Once you give the command, the servant performs the tasks to the best of its ability until it completes the task, then waits for the next command. So if you command the servant to perform the task, yeah.
So you're going to command the servant to perform a task. Yes. So it is visible or not visible because it's unseen, right?
It is invisible. Yeah, it's invisible.
Awesome.
So
but if it moves some stuff around, it could draw the gaze. Got it. So I put an image. So you should be able to move this thing around, I think. I put a little ghost character in front of you. See it?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. All right.
And you should be able to move it around, right?
Cool. Yeah, I can.
Awesome.
For those of you who are familiar with Rick and Morty, you just created a Mr. Mises.
I am not familiar with that. I'm so sorry.
Well, no excuses. Get familiar with it. Awesome. So you've manifested, and what is this task that you're going to tell it to do?
So it can only move within 60 feet of me. So I need to know what is within 60 feet of me.
Well, why don't so I'll give you, because this is all new, I'll give you 60 feet, right, of movement. So this will accumulatively, or how? Yeah.
Well, it lasts an hour.
Yeah, it lasts an hour.
So
but here's the deal.
move.
So what I can't have you do is it wanders around for 15 minutes because everybody knows you're here. So what I'm trying to nail down is, okay, what's the first thing you want it to do or the place that you want it to go? So I'll give you a movement and its action, right? So you want it to move where and do what?
Right, exactly. But I don't know.
I say go to the main table in the room and see if, yeah.
Yeah, I say so this is that's why you have line of sight, right? So you only can see what you see.
Oh, I see.
That's why I said you need to be in the door like that, right?
Right.
You can move it in any visible space.
I say go to the main table and see if you can find anything useful there.
Yeah, I can see that there's like cheese and food and stuff, but there's a cup on the table. So I don't know if there's.
So do you want to move the character there and search the table?
No, I want to find. Oh, there's a box. Okay. Yeah, Yeah. I suppose. I mean, I know exactly what's on there, so I feel like this is a wasted move.
No.
You guys.
No. Actually, so you don't know what's on there. This is image decoration, right? So like there could be things
Oh,
under the
okay. Then
axe. It
yes.
could be something, So you don't know what's there. Yeah. All right. So
Okay, then.
you move your character over. Now I'm going to ask you for your action. And if you click this character, you probably see more things unfold. For your action, do you want this thing to move stuff around and look, or just to do a quick visual? Because I'm going to warn you, if you start moving stuff around and these guys see stuff just floating around on a table, they're going to spot you. They're going to, you know what I'm saying?
What is that?
Yeah. So I just want to survey.
It might freak them
all
out.
I want to do is survey it. Well, what I want to do after this is I want to cause commotion so that everybody can rush the other door and start shooting, depending what's on this table.
Okay. So why don't you roll roll a 20, or actually do an investigation. So you'll do an investigation through this character. So roll your investigation.
All right, hold on one second. It's going to take me a minute to open that tab.
Yeah, it's rough. My machine is super buggy. I wouldn't be surprised if we stopped streaming accidentally, or if Twitch shut us down because we're so clearly not knowing what we're doing that they're just like, people shouldn't see this.
You said investigation?
Yeah, investigation.
All right.
Please.
Awesome.
13.
All right, and then
Cool.
sweet.
So your little ghost pal is able to sort of see around and under. Doesn't see any keys. But good news, everyone. Anyone? What's that from? Anyone? Futurama. Thank you. Off to the right,
News.
it sees that Gorunk has some keys hanging from his belt.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
so,
guys,
Gorunk,
do you want me?
He's a bugbear. He's not an idiot, so he's not going to leave the keys just laying around, right?
What's a bugbear, by the way?
Well, it's a giant monstery thing in Dungeons and Dragons. I would share an image with you, except it would probably lock my computer up and crash. So I've realized that Fantasy Grounds over time it seems to yeah. You guys you can look it up into your library there, or inside of the player's handbook or whatever. That's a pretty common, next to goblins, it's pretty common early stuffs. Now, I will say you are now going to be in combat, you guys. So you have a ghost that can't do any damage. No one knows it's there. So it's still commandable for your turn. It will take an action for your turn, Glory. Yeah. If you break concentration, does that, if you do something else, does that end your control of this thing?
Yeah, I didn't hear anything you just said, so
okay, what I was asking is
cut out for me.
So for this which one was this that you're doing? This is
my unseen character.
Unseen character, yeah. Where's that at? I don't see that in your list. Oh, there it is. Unseen. So let me take a look real quick. One action, so it takes one action. It lasts for an hour. Until the spell ends. Okay. Into existence, has AC 1 hit point. So for each of your turn as a bonus action, you can manually command a servant. So okay, that's cool. And they can only move up to 15 feet, which we were under 15 feet roughly. That's good enough. So basically, you can take your turn and then you can command this thing to do a thing. Make sense?
Okay. Yes.
Awesome. So that said, we are now in. Oops, I meant to start over. I don't want to start this from 0 and start. All right. So you guys are in a doorway, right? Way across the cave, you see an archer, and this archer, he doesn't know what you're doing. He sees you waving your hands around, and he has no idea that you have this other being that's being commanded. But he sees you, Glory. He sees Dinjarin. He sees someone in each door, and shouts to the rest of the room like they're coming through, right? Both doors. So element of surprise is now gone, and he then looks across the room and he's like, Grunk, sort of waiting, like, what do we do here? And Grunk simply says, dinner is served. Beat 'em, bleed 'em, skin 'em alive, and save the tender bits for me. So Grunk is now commanding the room as a whole, like, stuff's going to get real. All right? So, cool. It is a big grin comes across Glock's face, across the cave, and raises his bow, and let me see, how far does a short bow go? It goes 80. So I'm trying to remember how I do a measurement. So he's going to step in a little bit. Boom. And Glory, I am so sorry to say that you're the first contestant on The Price is Right.
Boy.
And he hits.
Oh no! No.
So you step through the door. You step through the door. You're doing your thing. You're on his radar, and he does actually hit you. And you see coming at you at a pretty good click is an arrow, and you're bleeding. So he does a moderate amount of damage to you.
Oops. Sorry, I accidentally.
You gotta stop casting your stuff.
I'm sorry. Sorry, I accidentally clicked it.
All right, and that ends his turn. Up next is Icarus. Now, Icarus, you might want to do. You can, I'll give you that. She could probably sort of force her way past you into the room, but just keep in mind that she needs to get into the room to do anything.
All right, I was on mute. Icarus, already seeing Glory getting hit with an arrow, decides that some immediate action needs to get taken. So Icarus will come into the room. Oops, Icarus.
All right.
There we are.
Drag where you want it.
I need to go.
So you can see one. You can see one goblin archer.
Yes, I'm going to come up to the table because I'm really going to be going after the Bugbear.
Okay. So you step your way into the room.
Actually, step my way into the room. Actually, I'm going to take a shot at the goblin archer.
So you step into the room and it unfolds around you and there's some serious stuff going on. You see a combination of archers. You see a caster, like someone looks like a spellcaster, off behind some rocks, just to the right of Dinjarin. Dinjarin's not aware he's there. He is now because I've said this, and you probably, I'm hoping, would have mentioned it to him. You see the Bugbear boss. You see deeper into the in the cave that there's a Bugbear boss, but there's also a Goblin boss, right? So you've got foes aplenty for today.
Yes, we do.
Go after the Bugbear or the Goblin boss because all the others look to them. So if they're dead, then they won't attack us.
I'm thinking Bugbear as well.
Yeah.
Cool. So how far did you move the first time? Can't remember.
To get into the room was, I believe, my 30 feet.
Okay. Then you need something that'll do a range of 20 feet. Or
right,
more.
So I do select Icarus. Icarus does have a longbow.
Well,
so I will be
might be time to use it.
Oh.
Wow. So
That's what I'm talking
nice
about.
Roll. Nice roll. So
way to go, Icarus.
Icarus had one request since she couldn't be here today. Don't kill my character. So with your first attack, you raise your longbow and you hit the Bugbear with a critical hit. So what does that mean? So critical hit effect D254 gaping wound. The target takes an ongoing 5 plus half its level damage until healed. All right, so additional. So half of its level. So this is a, hold on, I gotta bring up Garunk. Level 1, so half its level. All right, so that'll be just a 1. So basically an ongoing 6 points of damage. So for this round, he gets an additional 6 points of damage. We do this in the combat tracker. And you need to roll your damage first. So roll damage on him.
Okay.
And then I'll add it to it. All right, you did moderate damage, so I'm going to add another 5 to that, which would bring you that total to 18 points of damage. So you guys are harshing my buzz here, right? Because like the boss is supposed to be harder than that. Who does 18 points of damage on their turn? My God. Right. So that ends your turn,
that
Icarus.
too.
So, Icarus in a cat way, gives it sort of the cat stink eye, right? And, licks her paws and, wipes her brows. So I'm doing all this pantomime and there's no video. But she's feeling really good about herself. But then again, what cat doesn't feel good about itself? Cool. Now, ironically, it's Garunk's turn. So, he pivots to the left. And he's going to see here, traits. He pulls out a javelin, honestly, and raises. He says, two can play at that game. Have you met my friend Javelin? Oh. And this javelin just sails right past the kitty cat, who just purrs in mock. Thus ends Garunk's turn. And you hear sort of in broken common, "I shall avenge thee," as if they'd watched Galaxy Quest. And Gunter's going to go right for, with his scimitar, it's going to move 1 step forward to protect his pal, his boss, his possible confidant. And he's going to attack with a scimitar. Oh, and it is a fumble. And the good news is it's a fumble without a fumble penalty. So he's just embarrassed, right? He came up to avenge thee, and he didn't avenge Jack. His turn's over. Stephanos is up.
All right. Well, Stephanos has to move in.
Wait, Stephanos is also a healer, and I am very hurt.
I would keep.
I know. I was thinking that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking Stephanos could hang back and cast a spell. So there are. He has a cure wounds and a healing word spell.
Question for the dungeon master: Does
yes.
Stephanos have to be in proximity to the person that they're healing? Do you know? Like how close do they have to be?
Yeah. So for Stephanos, her action. So for I think for cure wounds, it's a touch. Let me look. Cure wounds is dun 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 touch, right? So it has to touch, right? And it'll regain the number of hit points equal to 1d8 plus your spellcasting ability modifier. Has no effect on undead. Blah 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 blah. And then healing word is 1d4. So a healing word is really sort of a stabilization thing, if you ask me. So within anyone you can see within range, they will get 1d4 plus your spellcasting modifier, right? If whatever her modifier is, it should handle that automatically. If you're looking to heal, I think it would be a cure wounds, but this is the beginning of the battle. There's also a world where there's enough things drawing fire, so you may want to make your way over.
Right.
But I don't know. I don't know at this
Yeah.
point if I would. This is just advice, right? I don't know if I'd waste healing glory yet. She could probably take another. Like she got hit hard, obviously, but she might be able to take another hit, which would then be a more timely time a better time to do the healing. And also on her move, don't forget she'll be able to withdraw. So like another approach again, because we're all learning this, is people just basically come in front of her, right, and draw fire or take. So she's bleeding out, but she's there. Also, if you look at Glory in her
Yeah,
inventory,
she's got Sacred Flame and Guidance.
yeah, so yeah, in her she has she also has a cure wounds on herself, so she could take as an action. She also has a potion of healing, and healing. Oh
What are
wait,
you
I'm looking at
doing,
Stephanos.
Thomas?
I'm looking at Stephanos.
Well,
What the hell? You just posing all of my shit. Just kidding.
and remember though, too,
Yeah.
they don't know that we have a healer. They know we're here, but they don't know that we have a healer, so that worked
Yeah.
to our advantage.
Yeah, and look, and
And right
again,
now
Glory's right? Glory's
I'm
right because she
teasing.
wants to play into her. No, you're absolutely right. She wants to play into her character sort of DNA and how she's wired, right? She's not, the most upfront person, right, from her character. But and I think this first run here is such a learning experience for everyone. I'm just trying to sort of point out like, maybe before you call for healing, do you have a healing potion? Is that the right time to use it? The battle could get bloody, and if you don't have any heals left, then people start to die. So this is where you have to start balancing out how hurt, like it's triage. How hurt is someone, and is this the right time to start healing people up? Because if it's the very next swing, like your tank, right, or like Icarus could take almost critical damage, and if you don't have any heals left, she'll be dead, right? So, and then you're kind of out of luck because you don't really have any tanks beyond Icarus.
And right now, all of the action is going to be directed towards Icarus because she's the main one in the room that all the goblins are going to be going after. So there's been two very good near misses, but one of these days
Yeah.
something's going to hit.
Glory, you got to stop casting stuff, bub. Did it?
Sorry, that was
affect
me.
him?
That was Stephanos.
Oh,
I didn't
did that
do
use
it.
one of the? Oh, sorry, Glory. I just assumed. Shame on me. Okay, I didn't take anything up. All right, so who's
Good.
it is Stephanos' turn. So you've
Right,
got to
yeah.
play the character. She has a good heart.
I was trying
right?
to figure out what Guidance is, right?
You click the anytime you want to know what a ding is, click the chain.
Chain. Touch one creature.
So I can we can play along. So if you want to know what guidance is you touch a willing creature. It has to be willing. Once before the spell ends, the target can roll a d4 and add the number to the ability check of its choice. So one of the things that's nice, it's a good way to buff. Like you use guidance to buff somebody on your team, right?
Yeah. I'm gonna move in and cast on the Bugbear.
All right, so you're gonna move your healer into combat. Okay, so move it to where you want it to go. Now, as you like,
Right.
this is yeah. So go ahead and make the move, and then I'll describe something real quick. Cool. So as the healer jumps past Tempe, you hear the party that sees this happen like what the hell, right? So one of your most fragile people is now in combat. All right, so you make your
Tempe's
move.
next. He's gonna move in front of her.
Let's hope. It's not a bad move. I'm just saying, all right, so who are you casting against? The Bugbear, the Archer. The world is your oyster. You
Bugbear.
see an awful lot of stuff.
Yeah,
In fact, I'm going to
Bugbear.
open up some of the boulders so you guys can start seeing some of this.
What are you casting, by the way?
Sacred Flame.
Okay, so
Do
this
you
is a
want to
spell.
cast it on Bugbear, or do you want to cast it on the Goblin Master or whatever?
Well, just a reminder, you only you can use it once until you rest again. So this is your once. It's not a bad thing.
Why don't you use your
right?
crossbow
I
instead?
could use the crossbow too.
Well, you do
Yes.
you.
Save your magic. Use your crossbow.
All right, crossbow it is, and I'll target Bugbear.
And everyone should also thank you
Cool.
for controlling the character.
No problem. All right.
Everybody's a backseat driver when it's not them driving. Oh, nice. Nice hit.
Yeah.
So the healer, like
Oh,
much to everyone's
Bugbear, you're
surprise,
going down.
comes running into the room like, I'll take the case, right? And raises a bow, and you guys are sort of befuddled because typically your healer holds back. That's sort of her personality, but not today. Today she's like in the thick of it, which is funny to anyone who's on TikTok because that's pretty much every TikTok has that song, "In the Thick of It." Anyway, go ahead and roll your damage. Make it count, my friend. You did make it count.
Nice.
Ew.
So this guy took some serious damage. It is in Grunk, the Bugbear is in critical condition, right? He went from thinking that the Happy Meal had been delivered to his car to bleeding out on the floor, right? Also, for those that didn't notice, Glory looks like she disconnected. Hopefully she can make it back in. I don't know if she's still on.
Yeah, I'm coming back in. Sorry about that.
Dude, I understand your pain. Now that we're 2,000 plus miles into this road trip, cell service is not easy. Tempe, you're up.
All right.
You were just pushed to the wayside as the healer swooped past you. And as she went by, she said, "You got my back, right?" And you said, "Sure," and flew right past her. Right? So she's wildly exposed. So, all right, Tempe, your move is over. And you are now surrounded, like legit surrounded by stuff, by bad guys.
Right. Hoping to draw some attention. I'm going to use my longbow against the next goblin, who is the caster.
Is the what?
I'll target.
Yeah, you have
I
line
think
of sight. Okay.
Rex is. Yeah. I've targeted Goblin Caster Rex.
Nice.
And we'll take a shot at him with my longbow.
Nice. So it's a solid hit. You have a +4 with your longbow. You are a ranger, so you yell to the goblin, "Ranger danger, ranger danger," and I'm not sure what's going on with Syl, but go ahead and roll your damage. Well, I don't know if Sir Mott's still on here, man, but I love the dice. It's awesome. So ranger danger indeed. Your bow is true. Or the arrow sails only about 15 feet, right? But lodges itself deep into the caster, and you hear a hrumph. Up next, Tyros. Tyros has been hearing all this commotion, and if we know Tyros, he's a man of action.
Tyros is going to be pushing his way past Glory into the room.
And worth noting, you hear Dinjarin in Goblin, which sounds like gibberish to some of you, but to those who understand, as you see, he says, "Look how easily we're taking out your Bugbear. You should all run." And with that, they do look a little shaken, right? Like their boss man is not looking good. All right, so you're targeting?
And Tyros is targeting the archer, as I don't want to shoot Icarus by mistake. And we'll have a bunch of these goblins on their feet. Tyros is going to use his short bow.
Awesome.
Nice.
Nice hit. Nice hit.
And let's see what kind of damage we will put on.
And while you're doing this, Glory's talking about how she's their new leader. And she does hear one of the goblins say, "For how long you're bleeding out?" So
Glory
again,
looks healed.
What? No, Glory is half hurt.
All her blood went away.
Oh, not on my screen. So you did some good amount of damage on the Goblin Archer. He's moderately hit, right? Like you see, there's blood splatters about. and it's looking like maybe the tides might be turning. These guys are looking a little nervous. On that note, bleeding out a bit. We've got Caster Rex. So line of sight. Oops. Hold on. Let me open up some rocks for you. Open. There we go. So line of sight is actually Tempe. The caster wants to move a little bit out of the way because she peeks off to her left and sees Dinjarin. So we're going to move a little closer to Tempe, and I'm going to throw a little burning hands at you.
Ouch.
Oh, it is a crit. Oh wait, this is not a. We don't do fumbles and crits on this. So you see the burning hands coming your way, and you're like, hell's no. One quick dodge, and you're good to go. So you succeeded your saving throw, which means there's no damage can be rolled on you today, my friend. Glory, you're up, right? You're splattered with blood. You've done some pretty incredible moves in this already. You've got a movement, you've got an action, and so long as you have line of sight with your ghost, you can command it.
Right. So I also have this hellish rebuke, and that's you point your finger, and the creature that damaged you is momentarily surrounded by hellish flames. The creature must make a dexterity saving throw. It takes 2d10 fire damage on a failed save, or half as much damage on a successful one. So when you cast this spell using a spell slot and of second level or higher, the damage increases by 1d10. Now I don't know what level, but what I would like to do...
Yours is level 1.
Oh, okay. Well, anyways, so what I think I want to do is I want to kind of go off the fact that I've been telling them I should be their new leader. And I want to go into line of sight of the Bugbear, and I want to cast this spell around him.
So you're going to have is this hellish resistance? Is that what you said?
Hellish rebuke.
Oh, rebuke. I was like, why do you want to make him flame proof? That seemed like an awfully nice thing to do. I was looking at I'm like, that's going to do him a favor. All right, so so I heard you read it, but I have to, being a dyslexic, I have to actually read things myself. So you put your finger.
So what I want to do,
okay,
is crawl my way over to see so that he's in my view. I want to point my finger at him and cast my hellish rebuke spell, and so then he will be engulfed with flames. And I'll shout out again that the goblins better come onto our side before it's too late. And then I'm going to have my unseen servant do something for me.
Awesome. So I love that you laid it all out for me. And don't forget, when attacked, I believe he gets an additional 5 plus whatever damage.
Right.
So 6. Cool. So step into where you want to go. You're not so hurt that you can't move your entire amount, which is you can move up to 30. So that's 6 squares.
Well, I kind of want to stay in kind of safe. So if I move here, do I... Oh, no,
locked.
I still don't see him. No, I can see him.
Yeah, but you don't have line of sight. Right, so I opened the rock so you could see him, because that's fair. It's not such a big boulder you couldn't see around it. But you would you'd have to do this and potentially hit Icarus, definitely would hit Nerti, and it would probably not make it to Gurunk. Right, so you need to move either maybe by that chair, it's like squeeze between your peeps. You need some sort of line of sight. You could also move, I'll just pull where I'm saying. Oh, okay. If you do that, you're going to have to do an athletics to get across the boulder.
Oh, well, I'm dying, so... Can you just put me in line of sight of him in the safest? Because I'm not quite sure.
So I was going to suggest maybe something like here will get you. You don't have to stay here, but here would get you line of sight with him. But also, Tyros is like, thank you. You're now in line of sight with this guy and this guy. That may have been the best play is to here and just it's not a huge amount of effort. to get across that thing. I just
Do
make
that.
you do an athletics check. So roll an athletics check.
Okay. And
Be prepared to get stuck between boulders. It sucks.
awesome.
You succeeded.
That should be enough.
Right? I was only going to
Don't
make
get
you get
grappled.
like a 5, right? So you're good.
Okay,
You're
cool.
good to go. Plus you have +2. So you made it just fine. So you first 2 things happen. One, you have partial cover from Nerti, the goblin. You're fully exposed to Grunk, but I think your plan is to sort of dispatch him. So you're good to go. So you still have your attack, and you have your bonus move.
Yes. So I'm going to go ahead and do my Hellish Rebuke. Oh, I also have to say, join me now or die.
Burn.
Oh, or burn.
All right. So hold on. So hold on. I'm trying to catch up. There's people screaming things. Glory is casting Hellish Rebuke, which has the following components. BS Glory. So did you just roll damage? Is this an instant hit, or is it a saving throw against it? It might be just.
It's anybody. So you point your finger, and the creature that damaged you is momentarily surrounded by hellish flames.
Oh, okay. So it automatically rolls it for you. So you started him on
Yeah.
fire.
Yeah.
And did it?
That's awesome.
But who did it go to? It doesn't look like it hit him. Did you drag it onto him?
Oh no, I just rolled the dice. But
Yeah,
sorry.
that's not gonna do diddly.
Let me do that again. Sorry.
Darn, that was a good roll too.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go. That's better.
You did.
All right. So you see Glory, points at Grunk, and his eyes go big, and he bursts into flames. And you smell bacon, maybe popovers. I don't know what a bugbear smells. Hair, burning hair. Fleas are fleeing for their lives. And he falls into a charred corpse, dropping his goods, including the keys. Now you have a bonus move with your character if you would like it.
I would like to have my ghost character get the keys.
Awesome. So she picks up, or he or it picks up the keys, and then goes to you. And hold on. Loot.
And an hour.
Key. Prisoner key. I'm dropping it on Glory. That should work. I think. It does not work that way.
Wait,
what's that?
Is my hour up? Is my hour up for the spell? Because I
No.
can still send my ghost. Yeah, because I was gonna on my next turn send the ghost over to the cages and set the people free.
Oh, so you don't want the key? You want me to keep it for the ghost? Okay. Okay, I'm gonna put it in.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put it in your inventory anyway. But just we'll assume that the little sprightly dude has it. So you have the key, and you can or it's in your realm, so it's controlled by you or that thing.
Right.
Cool. So there you go. Your turn is over. Dinjarin.
I can
Seems
press
like only yesterday.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. I'll let you press it next time. I'm just so used to people not pressing.
No, it's fine.
Right,
We should, and next
first,
time, let's make a precedent. So we would do one or the other, because if you press it and I press it, it'll just move past the next person. All right, Ninja.
First, I want to call out to the guy in the black robe that was in the cage and ask, is he like a fighter? If we release him, would he be able to help us?
Yeah,
Like,
he's like, yeah, I've got, I'm a warrior. I got some things going on. But is this really the right time to chat? I have none of my gear. I'm a prisoner, so I
Don't worry.
What do you want
about
from
it.
me?
We got a plan. We got a
All
plan.
right.
Don't worry.
Well, he says,
All
I
right,
love it
next-
when a plan comes together.
Next, I'm going to move around this boulder to Rex.
Okay, go for
it's
it.
going to take 2. Can I do 2 steps like that? Like 1?
Yeah, and then another one.
And then 2?
Sure can.
Finish him.
And then, where'd my screen go? I lost my thing. Okay. Then I'm going to use my, let's see, control, click on him. I'm going to use
love
my
you guys are
spike.
learning the interface.
I'm going to use my spike chain on Rex because
Cool.
if I hit him, I get an extra bonus. He has to roll a dexterity.
Okay.
Did not
no, I did. You hit him. So you have to roll damage now.
Okay, he actually has to roll a DC 14 dexterity saving throw or suffer an additional effect.
DC 14, 1, 2. Which dice is that? That's this one, right? Wait. No, wait. What is it? DC 14.
Yeah.
So he needs to get a 14.
Dexterity saving throw.
So he needs to get a 14.
Yeah. For dexterity.
Okay, so dexterity. So let me pull up his thing. Come on, Rex. Dexterity. I'm getting the something of death here, the spinner of death.
No.
Well, I just drug the number 14 there. I did not mean to do that. I've never rolled on behalf of an NPC like this before. So I think I just roll a 20 and then we calculate. I could be wrong. All right, so he got a 14.
Okay, so he doesn't get any extra thing. I still have to roll damage though.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So we were just looking for bonus. I understand now. Your GM is daft.
My bonus was he would have been grappled and stuck and wouldn't be able to move. But I got a 14 too.
So the caster,
Nicely
before
done.
he can do much damage,
Nice.
you shred his body, and as you do so, all of his belongings fly through the air and land next to him in a nice tidy bag. Do you want to hit next, or do you want me to hit next?
I could do it.
All right, Goblin Boss. He's been off in the back corner, and it's time for him to get into the thick of it, as they say. So,
Into the thick of it. Into the thick of it.
All right, so someone else knows the TikTok
Thought I
and the
was on mute.
backyardigans, right? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Guess where he's going, Ninjarin? So
okay.
meet
I ain't worried.
the new boss, same as the old boss. He's just gonna pull up a short bow on you, because he didn't quite get as close as he wanted, and unfortunately he misses. So he must have stumbled upon those rocks as he went around them. His turn is now over. That brings us to Syl. Now, Syl, you're carrying a lot of stuff because you're encumbered, so you can only move half the distance, just so you know. What is in your inventory that is so heavy? Yeah, you have a lot of stuff, right? So you're a mere. I'll give you full movement because you're so close to it. This is me being very nice. You're about 4 pounds overweight. That's why it says max encumbrance. So after this, you're going to probably want to either drop some stuff or get rid of some things. For instance, you're carrying 2 iron pots that weigh 10 pounds. So, all right, Syl, you're up.
Oh, Phil is ready to start cooking.
Awesome. So Syl's coming into the thick of it. Oh man, there we go. Oh, let's get you all the way in. Get stopped at the door because it hit the door. It's supposed to do that. Good job, Fantasy Grounds. Then you're good to go. All right, so Syl comes comes rushing into the room, right? And this is like her first big moment of the battle, and is just befuddled at the amount of carnage that surrounds her. So what you gonna do, Sil? And we can't hear you in case you're talking. Oh, she's the silent type. So she, I'm guessing, pulls up her bow, a long bow, and connects. It was almost a crit. Who did you attack? You attacked Chell, which is right, the already damaged. So now you did connect with Chell. So go ahead and roll your damage. Nice. So she's got a nice bonus on her damage, and does an additional 7 points of damage to Chell, who's having a bad day. Thus ends your turn. Nice work. So, Chu can play at that game. He raises his bow. He attacks Sil. And for the love of goodness, he misses. And someone's has a lot of background noise. So whoever that is, if you could mute, if it's there we go. Although I guess you are in a battle and you wouldn't be hearing these calm drops, you'd be hearing a lot of background noise. So he misses, Chell misses, probably because he'd just been gutted with an arrow. But that ends round 1, you guys. Now, Goblin Archer Glock's up. I can go long if you guys can go long. I can go another 5 minutes if you want. Another maybe 10 minutes. What about you guys? Anyone need to leave?
I don't.
Or do you want to just finish this room off?
We could.
Good. Let's see how far we can go.
Yeah.
Awesome. Because I don't think this will take too long.
It's just franchise.
All right.
What's that?
So, all right. So looking around the room, Glock says, all right, raises his short bow. He's going to attack Tyros, of all people. And does so.
Oh.
And, Tyros, when Tyros gets hit with an arrow, it never ends well. Will today be one of those days?
Oh,
No.
thankfully.
He got nicked, and he's good to go.
Just in my left clavicle.
Next up is Icarus.
Icarus is now going to. What have I got here for weaponry?
Oh, Glory, did you want to send
longsword.
Did you want to send your person somebody right while he's figuring this out? I can move your character to wherever you wanted that ghost. Oh no, it did the key. Never mind, that was its move. My bad.
Yeah.
So
Right,
Icarus is going to make his way in front of Goblin Archer Chell,
On target.
and
And also it's a she, but whatevs. You have to do the same. You have to untarget the other one too. The Bugbear is still targeted.
Oh, I see. Gotcha. Yep. Okay, there we go. And am I targeted on Chell now?
Not yet. Nope.
There you go.
You are now.
Okay. And I will be using my longsword.
Cool. Pull it out. So
Raises
Icarus
the
pulls out her
longsword.
long sword, and it flies right over the head of Chell, who's honestly very thankful because Chell is on the verge of death. Up next, Nerty. So Nerty, he's got perfect line of sight for Tyros, he didn't feel taken enough of a hit. So he moves 1 step forward, grabs his scimitar, screams a goblin scream of
Tyros.
victory as he connects with Tyros and finishes the job the arrow started. Tyros is now, he's doing a good job painting the floor red. Up next, Stephanos. Now Stephanos notices with Gorak gone, these goblins are starting to look like maybe this isn't what they signed up for. But no one's committed yet to stopping. But like they're starting to look a little like, what's what.
Yeah.
All right. So Stephanos,
See,
who's
one
controlling
willing
Stephanos?
creature once before the spell ends. Target. Roll. Then ends. Divination. That's guidance. That doesn't do anything. It's a minor wonder. A sign of supernatural power within range. You can create one of the following magical effects. Your voice booms up to 3 times as loud. You cause flames to flicker. Cause harmless
So,
tremors in the
is it a
ground. You can create
possibility
Yeah. While he's reading, go ahead.
that the goblins will take me as their leader? Yeah. Is there a possibility that the goblins will take me as their new leader, or is that
No.
just not a possibility, or it's
No.
not a possibility?
No.
So maybe I'll just stop.
Yeah. You've laid their brethren out, right? And you might be a charismatic creature, but you're not so charismatic that they're going to forget that you potentially killed their brothers and sisters a second ago.
Argue that is a very convincing reason why they should take me as their new leader, so that I do
Potentially, I
not
mean,
kill them.
you would
and
rule through fear, right? So, I mean, you're welcome to have that. You're welcome to have that conversation and then try to persuade them, but you'll have to roll a persuasion check. I'm not going to stop you. I mean, you never know. Weirder things have happened. All right, have you made the call, Stephanos?
Yeah, I think I'll use the thaumaturgy spell,
Okay.
which is magical effects, and I think I can do
It's a cantrip, so you can use it as many times as you want.
as many times as I want. Okay, so we can start with the booming voice and convince these goblins to lay down their weapons and leave, so that we can release the prisoners.
Go for it. So you're doing thermometers, that's so everybody can see it. All right. So they hear this booming voice, and they're looking pretty terrified, right? And let me just play the odds. Let me roll a dice just for my own shits and giggles. Yeah. And it was pretty, they're pretty shaken. But they do hear in the distance their goblin brethren. So they're a little fearful. Matter of fact, fearful enough that they're going to probably attack with a disadvantage for the next round because of that booming voice. All right.
I still don't have any new cult members.
Had no followers yet.
So Tempe,
I have
you're
no
now
followers yet.
All right, I'm gonna hop up on this rock.
You got to work on your influencing. All right, roll a athletics check.
Okay. Here, skills. And... Wait.
Yeah, you barely got up on that rock. So,
with a little wheezing and a little slippage.
Yeah, it didn't look good, you guys. I mean, he's a ranger, and it should be graceful, and he he jumped up, banged his knee, and wobbled for a second, but then screamed "Huzzah!" and he is where he is. All right, so that was your movement, and you're going to attack the other guy, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna target the boss with my bow.
And you miss.
Wait.
Nice. What?
I targeted Rex. I was targeting the boss.
Yeah, you I'll let you have a do-over. But yeah, you had 2 people targeted when you rolled initially.
Okay. So on target, do I? There we go. Okay. I just have the boss targeted now, correct?
Yep.
Okay.
Awesome. So it's a hit. So you raise your longbow. You aim it squarely at Urtus, and bum bum bum. You do moderate
Some
damage,
moderate
right?
damage.
So yeah, so that arrow wedged itself like deeply in its rib cage. A look of maybe I should consider putting down my weapon happens. And then I looked outside my hotel room, and there's looks like a tornado warning, possibly. Uh, so, things are scary out my window. It was sunny a second ago. Anywho, your turn is now over, Tempe, and we go to Tyros.
Sustains some damage here. Turns around and retargets over to Nerty, who imposed damage on him. And
Payback is a bitch.
I pull out my rapier.
I was hoping you were going to say rapier. I
Oh,
haven't seen much rapier play. Maybe you should have not
can't,
pulled out your rapier.
can't get a hit. Save my life.
So Tyros, realized that rapier maybe wasn't the right move. He could not get it out, fumbled with it, and by the time he figured out that maybe that wasn't the right move, his turn was over. Glory, you're up.
I just realized I have a cunning action, which is a feature. So after I do an action, I can take one more quick action, and one of them is hide.
All right, so you want to hide?
I do. I've sustained some damage here, so I would definitely like to hide.
Okay. To hide, what do you roll? Does it say or no?
It doesn't say. I'm assuming it's just the same steps that I can take, or the same movements.
All right, so move to where you want to hide, like maybe behind that rock or whatever, and then roll a d20.
Yes.
I'll give you a 50-50 of being able to hide.
Okay, so that's the rock you were talking about? The one right by Glory?
Tape.
Sure, that's fine.
It's a table.
I was talking about a different walk, but it does not in the end really matter. And then go ahead and
D20.
Yeah. Good enough. All right, so you're hidden, just so you know. So you're hidden. Now, Gloria, it's your turn.
So I have one question. On the table that Tyros is now standing on, there's a box, and I wanted to look at what's inside of it.
It's empty.
Can I do that for my turn? Oh, okay. All right,
yeah,
so
it's
then...
it's just decorative. Probably a cigar box full of nothing.
Okay. So I want to stay where I am because I'm pretty safe where I am and I'm hurt. But I also want to help by... I'm going to do a persuasion roll, and I'm going to try to persuade the remaining goblins that they should lay down their weapons and join my cult.
Okay. So wait. So you're going to hold on. You're going to try to convince the goblins around you to join your cult, right?
Well, yeah, that I'm their new leader.
That you're new leader. All right. So go to your skills, and this is gonna be your action, right?
Yes, because I'm not going to move.
Okay. So go to roll a persuasion, and to get them to join your cult, you're going to need to be almost a 20.
Oh God.
Yeah. So Glory's like, behold me and follow me. I lead through fear, and we have pretty good benefits, right, in this cult. And they all look at you like, just shut up, right? We're not joining your cult. My God, right? We're goblins. Like, yeah, just because we follow a bugbear doesn't mean we're going to follow you, right? And then your turn ends. So Dinjarin, you're up.
Wait, no, my turn doesn't end because I still have my ghost.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, go ahead and move your ghost. What do you want to do?
So, I want to move my ghost towards the chamber or towards the chambers. So where are those? Can you move it for me? Yeah.
5, 10, 15. You can only move 15 feet. So there you go. So your ghost is making its way over to the Chamber of Horrors.
Yes.
All right, you're up. Now you're up, Dinjarin.
And I have to duck out. So, thank you.
All right.
And bye.
Well, I think I'll let anyone who wants to stay to clear the room we can, and otherwise,
Well, seeing that Tempe helped out with this boss over here, I'm going to walk over to the boss, especially given that he was trying to get me, and I'm going to use my maul and see if I could swing as hard as I can right at his temple.
Cool.
Use that one. Hopefully I'll do some damage.
Sounds good.
Ew.
All right, so
I
you
did
hit.
some damage.
Nice hit.
So you hit, right? So yeah, so you're going for the temple, and you find a soft spot, and lo and behold, this guy now can't see out of the left side of his face. You see the nerves sort of slack, and his jaw just starts to hang open. This guy's day went from kind of crappy to super bad. Fun fact: it's his turn. He does have to attack with a -2, right? Because of the thundering voice dealio. He pulls his scimitar up to hit you. Good enough.
Uh-oh.
And says,
Low damage.
"I spy." He says, "I spy with my remaining eye a splinter." So, yeah, you did okay. You did okay. You live to fight another day. This is Sill's turn. I'll control her because she's gone. She's just going to simply spin around and take her crossbow. Bet you guys didn't know I could do these things for you. I just have to. You know what? She's not. She's going to move one step forward and do something spectacular. She's going to go in with her great axe. I don't know where she got a great axe, but she has a great axe. Let's see what happens. Oh! Oh, she fumbled. She fumbled, and that's bad. Her turn's over. Damn it! It does so much damage. It would have been glorious. All right, Goblin Archer Chell's up. Who's trying to move? I'm going to stop that. That's not okay.
At least if she dies, we could say it was the DM's fault.
That's true. So scimitar gets raised to Icarus. It's a solid hit, and it comes flying across, parts the fur, and cleaves through a good amount of flesh. Next up is round 3. Or round 2. This archer is watching a lot of stuff go down. Not happy about it. Takes a short bow. Goes also after Icarus. Did it go? Did not. Try again. There it is. Fumbles. You cannot act in any way until someone heals you in any manner. So this guy is now effectively frozen. All right. Next up,
Nice.
is Icarus. Icarus, who's controlling Icarus?
Okay. That would be me. Icarus is going to pull out his longsword again and target Shell. And I quickly raise my longsword, swing it over my head in hopes of cutting his head off once and for all.
And you connect. And you smell off to your right. You smell some fine cheese. Which you no longer can eat. It is now splattered with blood. So next to the cheese rolls onto the table the head of former Goblin Archer and celebrity chef Shell. Gurnty, right, says, Sill, Sill. Your ranger with a great axe? What's up with that? Raises his scimitar, and he says, I'm a goblin with a scimitar. And Sill says, are you? Stefanos is up. Who's controlling Stefanos at this point?
I am still. I think
Cool. What's up with that?
Stefanos and wheel around, help out on the north part.
Cool. You go for it. I will
Just
say
gonna
that the best move you guys made today, honestly, was to take out the Bugbear first. I was surprised at that move, so bravo. All right, so that was 15 feet.
We'll target Gertie,
Awesome.
the crossbow.
Oh, goodness. This might be the end of Gertie, of Nerty.
And
But it's
moderate
not.
damage.
So he's making eye contact with Syl, and she sees his eyes go wide as she sees a tip of an arrow poke through his abdomen. Tempe is up and on a rock. Does have a clear shot over Dinjarin. I'll give you line of sight.
All right, I'm going to just take it. And I'm still targeting the big boss.
Not going to take much, as long as you don't miss. And you did not. So your aim is true. Elvis Costello would be proud.
Where's my damage? All right.
Couldn't have rolled worse damage, but it was enough to send our goblin boss Erdis to his resting place. Up next is Tyros. You gonna bring us home, Tyros?
All right.
There's 2 left.
I'm hoping so. Tyros is going to move out of his hiding place.
Awesome.
Up behind Nerdy. We're going to target Nerdy. And Tyros is going to, once again, pull out his rapier, as he fumbled terribly with it the first time.
So this is a do-over, huh? And what happens?
Mm-hmm.
What happens?
We've got a hit.
You finally, the rapier connects. The rapier lives up to its name. You connect
now you're warm
with this little guy and do some heavy damage.
To kill.
You see what looks to be a goblin spleen start to peek through a gaping hole in his side.
And Tyros is going to use his cunning action again and move back to his hiding place.
Awesome. Go for it and roll. 20. Roll your 20. I wanted you to get above a 10 if possible. You did, so you're hidden again. All right. Glory's up. Glory, I believe, had to step out. So what would Glory do? Well, she likes to do sort of clever things. So Glory is going to step aside 1 block. She's going to take her, what does damage here? Light crossbow. And try to finish Nerty. She's hoping. She connects.
Nice.
Nerty is dead, and she sends her ghost 15 more feet. 1, 10, 15. Now, the people in the prison, or people in the cells, just see these keys floating through the air and are a little wigging out at this point. Next up. We're so close, you guys. Dinjarin.
I don't know how to use it. There's dash.
Great.
There's under generic actions. There's a dash. Do I have to do anything for that? Like if I want to run over to the last archer.
I've never used dash before, so let's see.
Right. I guess I don't really need it.
Wait, double click the point of intent. It's informative older. Basically, it's just you can dash quickly. It's just an intent thing. So you just click it and it says I'm dashing. Look, you said
run over to that guy.
dash.
Good dash, man.
I tried running, I try to keep in shape.
Good
But
work.
if I ever have
Alright.
to... Oh, wait, what happened?
So Glock was focused over there. So why don't you get a +2 on your next hit? Because you dashed over and do something spectacular with this moment.
How do I do that?
Hit the +2 below the chat box, and then do your normal rolls.
So now I am going to target the archer. And
Okay.
I really like going for the temple, so I'm going to raise my maul up again, and I'm going to aim right for his temple and just see if what I get. And I don't get much. Damn it.
Yeah, you scream, by the power of Grayskull, and he just smirks.
I was a little tired, guys, from running over there. I probably shouldn't have dashed. I got a little winded.
So Sill's just going to pull out her longbow, and she's going to try to finish what you're starting over there, and hit Glocked. She hits, but doesn't she always hit? And she's going to do some piercing damage to this guy. So he's heavily damaged at this point. She's beside herself excited. And up next is round 3, and this is pretty much it. Glocked spins left. This may not surprise you. And thinks to himself, what to do? So he's going with Scimitar. He's going against Dinjarin. And, as he swings high, you duck and are in good shape to live to the next round. Icarus is up. Icarus, who has a habit of ending the rounds with bloodied corpses. What's her play?
Icarus. I need to click on Icarus. Icarus is going to make a dash for Glocked.
Dashes away. Dash away.
And it's going to pull out her Warhammer. And with several swings over her head. Oh, sorry, I need to target first. There we go. Several swings over her head. Going to bludgeon Glock's face. And let's see what bludgeoning damage we can do.
Nice.
And that's it.
I think that's enough.
That's how you bludgeon.
You bludgeon the hell out of that thing. So you hear a cheer erupt, from the prisoners. And while you were doing that, the ghost has released everyone. It dawns on you that you can't get out how you came in. You do see 2 passages to the south part of the cave. You're gonna have to lead some prisoners away. So my question to you is, do you want to ask anything before we end this for the day?
Yeah. Did they see which way which tunnel did it seem like a lot of the warrior goblins went down?
They haven't. Sort of their heavy hitters were in this room already. But that said, there's been continual chatter, and you can still hear it way off in the distance from goblins, down in the tunnels. So, no one on this end in these cages has been any farther than these cages, right? So this is sort of all news to them. They're super disappointed to hear that you guys tripped the alarm and you guys don't have a quick escape. Sounds like you're going to be crawling some tunnels.
Can we bar the doors before we choose a tunnel?
You can, but I'll remind you that you've killed everything on this side on that side of the.
Okay. So the goblins could only be coming from one of the tunnels.
You're gonna.
Just like we can't get out, they can't get in. So that's at least.
So do you want to ask?
Okay.
So do you want to ask the robed figure anything? Because he's sort of itching to go, but you started a conversation.
Yeah, let's send the canary down one of the coal mines.
But I want to ask him if he wants to join us and help us out. I have what kind of fighter is he? Is he a warrior, a ranger? What is his skill set?
Well, you're gonna have to ask him.
Yeah, that's what I was just asking him.
He said, "Well, let me tell you my tale." So I'm a Zentarium, right? I've been investigating some strange happenings in this area. There's a black dragon lair, here until recently. So this used to belong to dragons, right? And we were a little dismayed to find out that that goblins had moved in and had been doing something, parlaying with the humans for some reason. Um, you know, the dragon hadn't been seen in a while, but the humans were still skulking in the area. So this, my name is Chob, and I came to investigate, right? So what I found was interesting. I found that the dragon had been killed by some adventurers, but the adventurers perished as well. So someone emptied the dragon's hoard and started harvesting parts of the dead dragon, right? So for sale on the black market. Um, uh, no sooner did I find this than to sort of share my findings about the lair and report back to my people, that I was waylaid by more than a dozen goblins, right? And while I can fight, I'm not a fighter per se. I'm just good in a fight. They have been, I've been in a cage, but there has been a continual flood of humans in talks with the goblins, um, trying to sort of secure the area. I don't really know more about why there's this relationship between the goblins and the humans, but it's definitely something going on. Um, I know for a fact that there are hundreds of goblins living in this cave system. The numbers are currently low, right? Because they've been out raiding. So if you've collapsed the entrance, you may have bought yourself some time. So I'm not sure of how many goblins are outside the cave versus along these tunnels, but it seems like we're going to find out.
Do you know which tunnels lead to an exit and which tunnels may lead deeper into the cave?
I do not. I have not been any farther than this.
Which tunnel do the goblins typically use if they're going raiding?
So as you can see, there's some boulders sort of blocking my view. I know they come from the tunnels. I'm not sure exactly, what's on the other side of them. It looks like it splits into possibly two, but for all I know, they join back together.
There was a human when we first came in. We saw a goblin talking to a cloaked human that just disappeared. Did you overhear any of their conversations and what they may have been speaking of?
I didn't hear that conversation, but I've heard plenty of conversations between the humans and the goblins. The humans are paying the goblins to harvest and steal for them. So I'm not sure why these specific prisoners were brought in here, but it seems like they're clearing the countryside.
I think they have a baby dragon, guys. That would be cool to add to our party. Could you imagine flying around on a baby dragon? Guys?
Well, he hears you saying this to your party. He's like, would a baby dragon hold your weight?
Yeah, baby dragon seems small. Can we send the
how many baby dragons have you guys?
Down one of the tunnels?
What's that? So I think.
Who do you want to send down the tunnel?
The ghost.
Oh, he's only line of sight though.
Yeah. So So what we can do is we can command the ghost to come on over, and what the ghost reports back is that I'll assume that there's some way for you to know stuff with it. But it goes over and the tunnel sort of drop off and go deep and dark. That's about all I know.
So here's what I would say. Well, does it seem like we're safe enough to take a short rest to heal? Because some of us got hurt, so we need to take a rest, heal, and get prepared for whichever direction we want to go. Not speaking out of anyone who may have been hurt and wants to rest without having to use his potion. But
so you want to?
Saying.
So are you going to try to block those two cases? They're not super wide. Are you going to try to block them up?
I don't think I could.
I mean, these are pretty. I think these are pretty heavy cages. You might be able to drag a cage or two, or just to stack some cages up, just to buy you some time. Probably for enough for a
Yeah.
short rest, but not you're
Yeah,
not going to
I
get a
think
long
that'd be
rest
a
out of
great
it.
idea.
Yeah, I say let's do that, guys. Let's block the entryways with cages. Take a short rest, and that could be a good stopping point, so that we can pick up when everyone else is back in play.
Yeah, sounds good
Perfect.
to me.
Sounds good.
Awesome. So consider those things blocked. Consider yourself on the verge of resting, and a gentle reminder that you're going to want to grab your arrows. I'll give you 100% of them. You cannot reset your spell slots unless you're a warlock, which I believe that is what Glory is. Glory can reset her spells in a short rest. Everyone else requires a long rest. But you will be able to sort of heal some stuff up. So I will give you guys a short rest after we do some cleanup. Do you want me just to basically move all of the inventory into the party inventory, or do you guys want to ignore the bags of stuff laying around?
Yeah, let's just move it all into the party inventory. We'll take care of it once we're out of date.
Okay,
I feel like
and I will tell you, like, just for what it's worth, most of them are going to have like normal goblin stuff. Gurok being the badass guy that he was, he does have some gems. He has some Tiddly Toes wine, so it's a gnomish wine that he fancies. He also has something called Heward's Handy Spice Pouch, which is for spicing meats and all sorts of good stuff. And then just some normal rations in a pouch and some other things. He's also holding a good amount of cash. So just be mindful of that when we start dividing stuff up in the party. I think next time we should start with you guys are going to start being encumbered. Well, Stephanos already is, so she can only move half of her distance. So you're going to have to start making some choices around like dropping things, converting it to gold, what have you.
Yeah. How do you drop something? Like I have two. Like I have the chainmail I'm wearing, and then I'm carrying a chainmail, but I didn't know how to drop it.
Well, if you want to drop it for someone else, you have to give it to somebody, or just
can I give it?
Right.
Can I give it to the guy who was in the jail, just so that he's a little better protected?
He's an NPC, and we could potentially do that next round.
Okay.
Because I normally, if you didn't set the stones off, and because you're going to choose to go down these tubes, normally you would have investigated to see if there was any way for you to sort of move the boulders, and I would have probably said no, just so you know. But I would have made you roll for it. So there was a chance that you could have potentially done that, like move some boulders and get through. But you're going to be taking these characters on a journey with you, so I'm going to have to pull some NPCs into the party for you guys to drag along. So this is going to turn into a keep them alive quest.
Nice.
Pretty exciting. And by the way, I've not done this before with anyone, so this is all sort of new.